Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Monday. I am astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, live with Lloyd, that comes on every Monday and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We have a very special guest. In fact, you see the flyer. Her name is Kosmic. She is a Sag, for those that want to know. I ain't going to tell you all her information. She's also a tarot artist, an astrologer, a psychic. And what we're going to do, this is our first one. And by the way, there was a woman that first reached out to me uh, um, who asked to do this. Okay, there we go, everybody. And her name is Abena. I think Abena sent me her number somehow. I misplaced it or whatever. So she can reach out because just like we have more than one astrologer, we're going to have one on out of her city. In fact, this Wednesday, Hood Mystic, and so I'm going to have more than one person doing this, that, and the other. So, Kay Cosmic, and by the way, before I introduce her or bring her on, the cosmic forecast for today is the sun is still in Scorpio, the moon um just went into what was it? Just and what time is it? It goes in about 7:11 today. I was just looking at it too, Libra. So right now it's in Virgo, but at 7:11, in just a couple of minutes, it will go into Libra. But right now, since it's about maybe 3 minutes or 4 minutes after seven, it's still in the sign of Virgo, but about to switch. And I think it's also void, of course, when the moon is making a sign like that. Numerically, it's a 7 universal month. This is a brand new month, this November the 1st. So, how we get it is I took 2021, added it to the 11th calendar month, and then added up to a 7. And therefore, this is also an 8 universal day. All right. Personal days and personal months or whatnot are totally different. But anyway, without further ado, I want to bring on my guest. And there she is. Kay
Hello.
Cosby. Kay, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing fine. Okay. You do tarot.
Yes.
Um, what led you down this path to do this work?
My first deck was a gift to me. I was with a group of friends and we went to this girl Taylor's house and she was like, "Hey, you want a reading?" I was like, sure. And she gave me my first deck. And I
Interesting.
kind of started from there. I was 19.
All right. All right. And you're still 19. I think that's great. Okay.
I'm a little older now, but yeah.
So now when people now we're going to talk a little bit more about the tarot, but when people call in, do they either give a birthday, they answer the question, and there's so many techniques in the tarot. I understand different spreads. Um Now it's interesting because when I was talking to you the other day, you was explaining something that was very interesting because most people who may be familiar with the tarot know there's the major arcana and the minor arcana. Can you explain that?
The difference between the major and the minor.
Sure.
The major, I feel like it gives you the foundation of readings, while the minor gives you the details that support the foundation.
Okay. Now, the ones that go from 1 to 22, is that major or minor?
Those are the major arcana.
Okay, and then the one that go past that goes into that.
Yeah.
Okay, good, 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 good. I think before we went on, you were showing the decks. There are two decks that you're going to be using tonight to read.
Oh, yeah. This is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck and then my Moonology deck that I'll be using with you guys today.
Okay, so what they do is they'll call in. So now, um, these suits. There's the. Can you explain a little bit about what the suits means? Pentacles, swords, wands, and
Okay, I'm gonna start
what?
with Wands energy because that's my favorite. Though Wands is fire energy and also in relation to spiritual power. Swords as mental energy, it deals with air. That's communication. Then Wands. Pentacles is earth energy. It deals with reality, our material needs. And Pentacles, what's the last one? I'm drawing a blank for a second.
Cups, is it?
Cups. How am I forgetting my heart? That deals with our emotions.
Oh,
And
okay.
water,
Okay.
water energy, yeah.
For some reason, I tend to like the pentacles. Maybe because of the way they're designed with the little pyramids in it, or
Mm,
whatever the case is. But your preference is the wand, which is fire. But that makes sense because you are a fire sign.
yes.
Now I'm an air sign, but I don't like the swords at all. There's one picture where they got about 1,000 swords sticking in the man's back. I says not good. And then they
Ten of
got
Swords,
swords
that's
that's going through the hearts. I said, oh no, not good. So I understand that it all depends. I understand that also depending on not only the card but how it's positioned, whether right side up or upside down. Does that make
yeah.
sense? Can you
Yes.
explain to people what that might mean, for example?
Okay, so when it comes like a upside down card, and I deal with it for the individual because each upside down card may feel differently. Because in the deck, it'll probably tell you like it will just be reversal energy, but sometimes it's the energy that's being received to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I use my intuition rather than just the base definition of it, because you have to follow the narrative in the story when it
Okay.
comes to reversals.
Okay. Now I have to ask you a question. People ask me, Lloyd, do you read yourself? No, I don't.
Really?
I mean, I know what the conditions are. I know when I say, okay, today is a good day or double star day or whatever the case is, but I don't do that. Do you read the cards on yourself for the
I
day, for
practice with
example?
myself every day as I practice every day with the collective.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But when I first started, I felt like I couldn't read myself because I felt like my emotions would just take the reading wherever, however I was feeling at that time. But
Exactly.
even then, is giving me the story of my feelings, so I should be able to take that narrative and understand the story.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
and remove myself and not uh, expecting the story that I wanted to see.
That does make a difference. Sometimes there are things we want,
Yeah.
but that not the reality of it is that may not be what's happening, what we want at that point in time.
Right.
Okay. Um, when people come to you, what is for me the most sought after question is either about relationships or money or career. Do you have kind of the same category too? Which have been your experience so far?
People come to me about relationships, but mostly it's about clarity. People, most of the time, people just need love. They need clarity and encouragement for the things that they already know. So when you come to me, I'm gonna clarify the situation with most of the time you're aware of. But I'm just sitting here reasoning with you in your mind and your emotion, giving you space to feel, to think, and kind of help you narrate your own story. Because I want people to know that you are able to do this. I'm just here being an assistance to you.
Like a channel, as they would call it, somewhat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. And if you got a question, um, or,
Or if you
okay,
just want a general to see like what spirit has the message for you.
I'll repeat what you just said. I'm sorry.
It could be just the general to see what message spirit has for you if you don't have a question.
Okay, good, good enough. So if anybody has a question or a birthday, and she's going to take one of the what was it the moon deck?
The Moonology deck and
Yeah, the
my chakra
moonology
deck.
deck. Okay, those are beautiful. Those are really nice. Okay, so let's see who we got here. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to you, which
Hey
is
everybody,
greetings.
I
I
can't
think
see
that's
you, but
nice.
hey.
That's nice. Okay, let's see. Okay. Um, okay. We have one, Aida. Well, she didn't have a question per se, but she gave a birthday. But there's somebody who knows you. Do you know this person?
Hey, Radiance, it's a high school friend. Hey, girl.
I
I
thought
know
so.
like a bunch of my family is on here right now, and I'm so happy.
That's good. That's good. It's not like a supportive family.
Yeah.
Now they're not giving any Oh, there is Soraya. Um, hold on. There was one. Oh, I missed it. Well, this one. Well, let's start with Kiki. She's born 11/29. She's a Sagittarius too, like you. She's
Hey,
on the
Sag, babe.
beginning side of Sagittarius, where you two are the tail end.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, while she's doing this, don't forget, folks, this is not a full blown reading. This is just a kind of like a.
Kiki, Kiki, you got Sagittarius, babe. You got to look at the bigger picture.
That's what that means to her.
Yep. Look at the bigger picture. Sagittarius energy is all about expansion. I know, like, while Virgo gives you details, Sagittarius is like step back and look at the whole thing.
Okay, so that means her. So I'm going to give my little piece to it too. She is a fire sign with a water number like you. So that means she's passionate yet very sensitive, very proactive yet very intuitive, which is the nature of a two. She's a two like you, except she's born on the 29th. And would be very, very detailed and know people from all walks of life. And that would be the case. And it's interesting because if you look at how a two is written on a paper, it's almost shaped like the intestines of the stomach. So I know that most two people, whether male or females, have some particularity or finickiness about their diet, their eating habits, vegan, vegetarian, semi-vegetarian, or they'll just eat everything on the plate, you know. So it's just one of those things. Now Soraya, she wanted a general reading. So when you do that, now when you read Kiki, which of the two decks did you choose? Or you read
I
them from
use
both?
I used my Moonology deck.
Okay, good. All righty. So what do you have to
So
say to Soraya?
Soraya. Let's see what message Spirit has for Soraya. You got a time to breathe out. In the back of the deck, energy is expect powerful change. So whatever you're focusing on, nothing will come of that situation. It's you're about to go into a whole redirection of life now. So it's just take a moment, gather yourself, and see where you're heading next.
Okay. Now, don't forget, I was very specific with Kay about keeping it short, sweet, and to the point, since we get so many people. But to go more in depth, and believe me, the one or two cards she's showing is nothing compared to what she does.
Cause
Then
I'm
also, you,
nosy.
huh?
I'm nosy. I be wanting to
Me
get
too.
all of the details.
Yeah, no, that's my thing too. I always tell people I am nosy. I like to go down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's kind of how my energy works. But again, um, if she did one person, it would probably take up a good, maybe we meet about what, about three people maybe by the time we finish.
Yeah.
So this is just enough to be able to reach out to her, and we'll be giving that information to you soon. Now I've got, who is this? Um, Okay. Now this is interesting. She says, Latasha, she struggles with stepping fully into her divine feminine. Her birthday is November the 3rd. Another Sagittarius. This must be Sagittarius Day or something,
Hey,
okay?
yeah.
All righty.
Okay, so for you, Latasha, I'm gonna pull from my chakra deck. I know another Tasha that's a Sag. That's my babe.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So I know this right now that the year coming up for her, she will be in an 11 or master number 11 year or 2 year, all depending on how she wants to do it. And two is a transitional type of energy where there's a change either in relationships, a change at the workplace, or a change somewhat in relationships. primarily, taking her time. That means this year that we're about to leave, she's been standing on her own 2 feet. What do you glean from your spread?
Okay, I'm trying to make this quick. So you have abundance and destiny in reverse. You focus too much on your bag and not what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. Guilt, and you confusing yourself with focusing on this. You're wise. Take a step in to renew yourself and your energy and change your focus on what you're focusing on. If you want to tap into your divine feminine, do that. And it's not about money.
Okay. Okay.
Prosperity is an energy.
Good. And before I get to the next one, I just want to say hi to my little 6-year-old sweetie there in Ohio. I spent some days with her, and it was really, really nice. And as soon as I left her this morning, I missed her right away. So, such is the power of women. What can you say? I don't care whether 6 or 60, y'all got juice. Okay. Let us be very, very clear with that. Now, we got this person here, Miss Nelson. She's taking a trip from LA from December the 30th to January the 5th. So, and it's interesting. She's a Capricorn born on January the 3rd. And I think it's interesting because she's taking the trip on the 30th, and that's one of her numbers. What does the card kind of say? And by the way, Latasha Monique says, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You got Quest. Go for it. Have fun.
Okay. Well, I see we're going to go. All right. Good. And next is Kimberly. And in fact, Kimberly had sent a message just before we were ending last week because it was on the 27th and the next day was her birthday. So by the time I hung up, of course, it was too late. So happy belated birthday to you. And you are a Scorpio one person. So what do you pick up from Kimberly out of Houston, Texas?
Let me see.
By the way, I'll say this while Kay is doing that. You're going into a money making cycle, Kimberly. That I can tell you. You're going to be making some major, major moves that deal with relationships, that deal with the increased abundance in your cash flow situations, that's going to reunite you with people that you haven't seen or heard from in a long time, be it by way of a funeral, a christening, a baby shower, a family, college, high school reunion, or something like that. So, and you're going to be doing a lot of growing up, not that you're not grown already, but the way your cycle is, because you're going through a personal year, which is what everybody wants, since it represents money and power and authority and achievement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What do you have to say for Kimberly K?
Kimberly, you have meditate and contemplate, but behind that, you have your hard work is paying off. So, Spirit is asking you to sit and choose what direction you want to go in, and know that you are good enough to go after whatever you decide.
Okay. This one here is Lone Star, and they are a water sign with a water number. And so for me,
Let's
looking
see.
at their birthday numerically speaking, they're about to enter for 2022 a 7 personal year, which is more spiritual, which is more reflective. And the fact that she's born on the 7th and she's entering a personal year that matches her date of birth means she's going to get more into it. What are you picking up with Lone Star Music?
Lone Star Music, you gotta have prosperity lies ahead, and then behind that, it's time to take action. And it's this energy is pushing you, like it's time to go, get to it.
Okay, let me see something. OJ Nelson says, thanks so much. She is. I guess I was the
Yeah.
one that's planning on the trip. Okay, we should go
Have
with it.
fun.
Yeah, see what's going on with that. This one is Rashad Carter, August 19th, another fire sign.
Leo.
They're going to be into a 6 personal year. I can tell looking at the cycles, which means it's going to be a good year to fall in love, fall out of love, make adjustments, health matters, things of that nature, since they're in a 6 cycle year. But let's see what the cards have to say from K.
You
And
got
Rashad
this.
don't take orders well either.
You got this energy is gaining momentum, and your commitment is being tested. So it feels like you're building something. But with the foundation you're building, I'm telling you, it's better to give rather than take. Don't build it by yourself.
Uh-huh. Okay. And there was a she said we had the same birthday. Now, it's interesting. The one you just read was born August 19th. There was a lady that just says we have the same birthday. Now, here's what's interesting to me. Would that reading apply to her as well? Or Rashad, you did the spread on her and then you do the spread on this person too? Or you say, well, it would apply to both. Does that
I
make
feel like
sense?
it would apply to everybody. If it resonates with you, you could take that and apply because energy is fluid and we're all here together. That's why I do collective readings every day. We connect with each other.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I don't understand why we don't do have that understanding. Now, Lakeisha says, what does this month have in store for her?
Let's see, Keisha girl. Spirit, message do you have for Keisha? You guys surrender to the divine, and step out of your comfort zone. Something you about to go through an awakening, babe.
So I would imagine that would be to her advantage then.
Yes.
Okay. This person, George Gumdrop Buttons, go George Gumdrop. Um, he says 5/16/1983 for a female, please. Might be his lady friend, or might be somebody close to him. Um, I will tell him this while she's doing the spread. Can you see that?
For a woman.
For a woman, thank you. For
Woman.
her, thank you. Thank you. Get me straight, Kay. Um, I know this that looking at her cycles, that the year coming up favors Tauruses, which is the lady in question, and Librans. So all Tauruses are Librans. So if you're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th, it's going to be a very favorable year for you.
You got despondence. And I feel like Spirit's been cleaning up a lot of your life and it's been disappointing to watch. But you got to step back and look at the story. It's for a part of your enlightenment. It's like cleaning the dirt out of your life. So just be patient with that.
Okay. We have Marca Polo, born May 23rd, 1991. A general reading, please, and thank you, she says.
You're welcome.
For me, while Kay is doing that, I know you'll be entering a 7 cycle year, which is a time to be reflective, to go within, to begin to question why you do the things you do, as well as question the people around you and what part they're playing in your life too.
You got this energy is gaining momentum behind a time for healing. So uh, you need to be patient. I think you're trying to rush into something when you need adjustments are required for what you're trying to do.
You know what's interesting? 5 is known for impatience. Gemini is known for impatience. So it's like a double impatient. Yet the cycle she's going into means she needs to slow down and go within. So it's
Mm.
interesting that how the personal year cycle seems to be in direct parallel to the card that you spread. I found that very interesting that a person can come to you for tarot, me for numbers, somebody else for astrology, or whatever the case is. And basically, there's always seemed to be an underlying theme. You know, if a person is looking for it, it all depends. Some articulate it better than others, but almost always there's some underlying theme about it. But okay, so anyway, Martha, just be a little patient. Um, okay, now this person has an interesting question from Ray H. Do you have some good references for learning tarot? They're interested and they're born on April the 5th. of 1989.
Follow Dominant369 on Instagram, YouTube. Get all of your spiritual needs from him. He give it to us for free so we can learn, so we know that we are powerful. It's on there, and he has a video about learning tarot.
He does. Very good.
Yes,
So again, what's the reference again? So in case people didn't catch it the first time.
Dominic369 across all social media boards, but
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay. YouTube. Okay, good. And his birthday is April the 5th. What would you have to say for this Aries 5 person?
Okay. Ugh, that's too many for you, Aries. You're doing a lot. Let's see. Okay. You have a time to give rather than take. And I feel like this is about releasing instead of moving forward. Because you need to take a break and just release the things before you breathe. Just breathe before moving forward.
You
You
know,
might
there
get new
is,
ideas.
believe it or not, there is a science to breathing. Although
Yes.
people say, well, I breathe. When I wake up, I'm breathing, aren't I? But there is an art to breathing, whether alternate breathing, meditative breathing. It's people would be shocked and surprised.
Yeah.
We have
Let your breath touch your womb. Breathe deep.
uh that's interesting. I like that. What about Dawn O'Toole Happel? They said they've been feeling stuck financially. Another Sagittarius.
Hey. Okay. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Spirit.
Actually, to me, from my perspective, while Kay is doing this, actually, you're going to be going into a Jupiter cycle. For example, when she says she's been feeling stuck financially, that's because, first of all, she's about to leave the 2 cycle year, which is very slow moving. It's always a cycle of a little uncertainty where things appear to be iffy. But now Jupiter should be transiting her sign, and not only is Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, but the number 3 is ruled by Jupiter, and she'd be going into a 3 personal year. So I would say she should be financially unstuck very soon.
Yes, and I agree with that because you got impartiality, you know. But with stopping the flow coming in is guilt. Venus don't reside in guilt energy. Like she wants you to feel like a boss. So you gotta accept where you are now and release this energy, and things should start flowing in again for you.
Okay, good. Um, this person, Rashad Cardi, says, "Hey Lloyd, my wife is in the chat. Can you do her numbers and a tarot reading?" She is born September the 17th, 86. So while he's doing that, I can tell that, first of all, your wife, Rashad, is going to be going through a 5 personal year. See in your mind the number 1 and the number 9, and draw an imaginary line connecting the two. Well, dead center of that line between 1 and 9 is exactly where your wife is going to be. In other words, she will be at a crossroads, a pivotal point, a turning point cycle in her life. But it means a lot of opportunities. And the fact that she'll be entering a 5, which is a Virgo, which she is, because her key numbers are the 8, 6, and 5. That means she should be doing well for the next 2 to 3 years, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm sure you're gonna be her new best friend too. Okay. Anyway,
We
okay.
got for Rashad's wife, you got a personal issue, reaches revolution, and have faith in your dreams. I'm feeling very feminine energy here, also birthing energy. So if not a baby, you could be changing a whole direction for you and your family. So as Lloyd was just saying, like you guys are gonna be closer together.
Now this one is from Deidre. She's October the 6th and 16th rather. Career reading. What direction should she take?
Whatever you're most passionate about.
Well,
But
that's
I'm
interesting. She is going to be entering the same cycle year as Carter's wife, a 5 personal year. So that means it gives her an opportunity to take advantage of any and all opportunities to turn things around. And it all depends on which area of life she's doing. Ah, those are beautiful cards. What is
You
that?
got hold your vision and believe in the impossible. So whatever direction you feel most passionate about, like what do you want to do?
Now that makes a lot of sense. Let me see. This person wants to know, could you do a read their numbers, a general reading for one who's born August the 5th?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I noticed a predominant of fire signs, mostly Sagittarians, then Leos, a couple of water signs, not too many air signs. Earth signs, yeah, but the fire signs tend to predominate at this point.
Okay, for you, we got completion, and right behind that, we have faith. So you're closing out cycles, you're wrapping up.
Okay, that's what they're doing. They need to wrap things up.
Yeah, they're closing cycles, you know, and spirits around them guiding them to a new direction. They're powering them up, but they just ended a big cycle.
Okay, what about Linda Razi, who is this a earth sign with a fire number?
And
She want to know about her, but I can tell Linda, looking at her cycle, that she will be entering a 7 cycle year, which people find often challenging. And the reason why is the cycle of the 7 is more spiritual and intuitive rather than, material or relationship wise. So it means being getting right with yourself, taking a moment, and it'd be excellent to get into meditation, uh, go back to church or some religious institution if you feel the need, and let spirit move you and become more specialized in your field of study at work too. What do you see for Linda?
Linda, you're very close to achieving your goals. So like golden opportunities, like just a beautiful, beautiful energy.
Well, her being a number one, I am sure she would like that. Now, what about Stephanie Linton? She's a once a general. She's a water sign with an earth number. And it tells me that from looking at her cycles, Stephanie, a lot of your dreams about to come true on financially and romantically. In fact, I would say if I had to put a caption, you would be in your finance and romance cycle with the emphasis more on finances, as is career, home, job, something affecting the more career side of the equation with a little dose of love thrown in for it. Okay?
You got surrender to the divine and step out of your comfort zone. Emotions are running high. So you have very powerful energy. Like do something with it. Do something fun. Do something new. Do something that makes you a little bit anxious. Just go for it.
Well, looking at her cycles, it fits the bill to me. What about this person, Tiff McGriff? 52579. Would love to see what the both of you have to say about me. Well, first of all, I'm looking at this, and this person is actually going to be entering a 9 personal year, a year of fulfillment, yet a year to let things go in one way, shape, or form that has not been to your benefit or to your welfare or to your personal growth or anything toxic. And that means the way you think, toxic actions, negative friends, and whatnot. Let that go. But at the same time, it always means dreams fulfilled too. Impossible long distance trips. Okay.
Okay, Tiff, you got luck is on your side. The Sagittarius energy, and you got be bold and make the first move.
All right. Um, what about Joanne Mims? She is born on September the 5th.
Hey, mom. That's my godmom. My brother just
Really?
passed it. Yeah.
No, you wasn't kidding about family done tuned in, huh?
No.
I'm
So, mom, you got work through your fears, and it's time to take action. It's moving out of this energy. It's time to move on because you've been working on it and contemplating, but it's time to just move.
Well, let me explain also. Let me put my little 2 cents in for mine too. She is a Virgo 5 person. Five rules the 5 is the natural home for Virgo and or Gemini. So her number is exactly where it should be. And it tells me Joanne Mims, uh, yeah, Joanne Mims, I got that right, is smart, engaging, don't like repeating herself too many times. Her key numbers are the 5, 6, and 9. And since this year's the year of the 5, this has been a very important year where she stood on her own, or has been standing on her own. Next year, she's going to be moving things around. In fact, I would say around about late September, about 2 or 3 weeks after her birthday, into the month that we just finished last month of October. She kind of wrapped things up, feng shui her place, whatever the case is.
Always.
And for this month of November, she's expanding. But since her numbers are the 5, the 6, and the 9, since this year is the year of the 5 and next year is the year of the 6, I would say she's in for a nice ride, especially if she picks her best days always on a Wednesday, a Friday, and a Tuesday in that order. Not the way the calendar says Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, but her cosmic calendar, which is always Wednesday first, Friday second, then Tuesday third. Okay. Okay, Mom. Got it. All right. So now we have this person here, Latonda Page, another Virgo, and a Virgo 5 person, just like your mom.
Yeah. Okay, Latonda, you got what do you need to release? And your commitment is being tested. I would tell you to share.
Tested.
I would tell you to share in your experience what you have learned and experience, what you have felt up until this point of life. You know, and that will open up new doors for you with your peers.
Okay, good. What about Christine Watson? She says, what about April the 12th, which makes her a Aries 3 person? Well, I can tell you this. You're going to go, when I took the month of day you were born added to the year coming up of 2022, it tells me you'll be in a 4 cycle year, which 4 is always a lot of people don't like to go through a 4K because of the fact that 4 represents boundaries, they represent borders, they represent restrictions, and it could be mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. You know what I'm saying?
Or if people look at it like, because here Sagittarius coming with perspective, you setting foundations for you to move forward. Because after 4 comes 5, you know a change is coming. Like set up a foundation for you to be able to stand on while you're moving in the next phase of life.
Well, that's interesting because when you talk about that, because one of the things in a 4 is about being more structured, more organized, having more of a plan or itinerary or whatever. And by the way, Stephanie Linton that you just read simply said, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I got some classy people that come on here. Okay.
I'm glad.
That's all I'm going to say. Now, what about this person, Rich Ones, that's born on June the 17th?
Okay. Rich Ones.
Have you ever, Kay, while you're doing this, ever had a spread on yourself where you said, nah, I'm not feeling that one, and do it over again?
All the time. All the time.
Yeah. I had a feeling. Yeah, we all human, you know. Say like, nah, I don't like that. Well, let me try another one.
And I redo it. It come back out. Spirit said I said what I said, and I said okay. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, for Rich Ones, you got confidence is your key to success, and nothing will come of this out of this situation. So whatever you're putting your energy into, return it back to self.
All right. Now, Andy G said he's born October the 19th. He just had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. A spirit message, please, which is interesting because Andy, looking at his birthday, first of all, is a Libra, and next year favors Libras and Tauruses, which I was explaining, except Andy's going to be in an 8 personal year, taking the month, the day he was born, adding it to the year in question coming up. And 8 is always one of those power cycles. 8 is one of those cycles that everybody and their mother want to raise their hand and says, am I in there yet? Because it's achievement and recognition and doing things on a big scale. So And
You are
since
very
8 is a,
close to achieving your goals. You got that. And
that's good.
to
So the
yeah,
cards confirm what's up for this person.
yeah,
All right, Andy, we're gonna be your new best friend next year coming up. Okay,
yep.
that's what we're gonna do. Let's see. Okay, we have Ash Carter Chronicles.
Was.
And she says, "Can you do my good friend who is February the 5th?" That's an air sign with an air number. All righty. So that means that this person is going to be setting boundaries, laying the foundation or structure or cornerstone to some things too. And it would make sense to me that they're going to do well the next 2 years because their numbers are the 5, 4, and 1. And since they'll be in a 4 personal year for 2022, that means they'll be in a 5 personal year for 2023, which means for the next 2 years, if they work very hard for this year coming up, then they will definitely see all the fruits of their labors and everything. So everything is a process. Okay.
You got what do you need to release, and emotions are running high. Behind that, you got the new moon in Aquarius. Bring love into this situation. So I'm pretty sure you know what that's about. Like who you need to leave alone and move forward with.
I like how you put that. Okay. This is a Janae Jones. She is April 18th, 1988. Please and thank you. All righty. Well, I can tell from numerically looking at this particular person, they're beginning a brand new 9 cycle year, which means for 2022, they'll be in a 1 personal year, which is when they're starting fresh, starting all over again. And maybe one of the cards that you got may convey some of that of independence, self-reliance, and doing something totally new or different.
Yep, we got Leo. Don't let pride get in your way and have faith in your dreams.
But that's interesting. And Leo rules the number 1, which is the
Yep.
cycle she's in. All right, Janae, don't hurt nobody. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, we got Nicole Nichols, and she says, "How about her? She's a Pisces, February the 23rd."
Uh, you got the energy. The energy is gaining momentum, and then a time to give rather than take. Um, Sharing your emotions with other people, sharing your hardships and the life that you experience. And it feels like a little bit older energy. So it's like give to the people around you, talk to them and tell them what happened in your past because you will inspire a lot of people.
Now, let me say this, folks. Before we came on, I told Kay there would probably be a lot of people, and that's an understatement because people is rolling on here. And I told her just to give a little snippet because it's obviously she's just as nosy as I am. I love to go down the rabbit holes like what? Okay. But at the same time, if she did that, she would only wind up reading, or I would only wind up reading about 1 or 2 or 3 people in the course of the hour. So the purpose is to give a little entree, so to speak, and then you call her. And in fact, after you read this person, we're going to let people know how they can get in touch with you on IG and everything else like that. All right, what do you got to say for this person, Claudia Jackson, born May 28th? Please read me for relationships. Actually, from my vantage point, she's going to be entering a 3 cycle year, which means 3 is one of those flirting cycles, as I call it. It is a cycle that deals with people from different cultures. It is a cycle that denotes good luck and prosperity and making the right contacts with the relationships. And so it tells me Pisces and Sagittarians or people born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th of the month will probably be of help to her in some relationship. What do you say, Kay?
Okay, Claudia, for your relationships, you got renewal. And then behind that is mysticism. So I feel like it's your relationships is gonna get a little sexy, a little spicy. So have fun with that.
Oh,
Have
I'm
fun.
glad I know she want to hear that. All you want to hear a little spicy. It's like, okay, good, good, good. Um, okay, let's see. It says, this is Africa. He says, "What's up, brother Lloyd? Chris from Connecticut checking in." Okay, now He then submitted his birthday. He is a Virgo 8 person, born 2000.
Hey,
So
Virgo
this
babe.
person to me would be at a crossroad or a pivotal point where they've got to make some decisions which the way they want to take their lives in whatever area that affects them most, whether it's relationships or career or whatever. What say you?
Let's see. Oh, you got a new romantic cycle begins. You are very close to achieving your goals. But I feel this is with yourself, like a balance and loving nature with each aspect of you. You're going to touch your heart and you're going to fall even more in love with yourself.
You know what? That's very interesting. We always think of falling in love with someone else, but we rarely think about falling in love with ourselves,
Nope.
which I think is very interesting when you think about that. Because if you don't love you, who are you going to love in the end?
Yeah, because
Why do
like
you, why do you think that is? You know what I'm saying? Why do you think that that is? That we want to know about, does somebody love me or do I love them? But then when you point the finger at yourself, do you love yourself?
I think it's confusing through uncertainty. We've been taught to look outside of ourselves for everything.
Hmm.
So I feel like us being at the center of our life is being restructured. Like we have to start all over, and it's like, what do I need? You know? And once we turn that energy in, it's like, oh, I'm a baby. So you have to nurture yourself and develop all of that because a lot of times we didn't get it how we wanted it as a kid or how we felt like
Hmm.
we should have had it. So we have to
Hmm.
give ourselves the things that we need. And through life, we have opportunities that allow us to love ourselves more, that allows us to honor ourselves in different ways.
I have some philosophy about that too. That I put it another way, that sometimes we're so busy looking in somebody else's backyard that we fail to look inside of our own backyard to see what is inside of us.
Right.
I guess we look at the influencers or who has got who's in the news or who where there's paparazzi, lights, actions, cameras, but to me, every person in here, or even not, is just as important as the next person that we may read about or hear about or see about in the press,
Absolutely.
whatever the case is. So I think it's about doing some growing up. But now let us deal with some more things about how can people get in touch with you. All righty, that's the thing. Uh, this is Cosmic K Cosmic. That's how she spells her name.
Mhm.
She's a tarot artist, an astrologer, a psychic. She's also a painter. I ain't gonna get into a painting business because I'm gonna stay on a good side. But Instagram, IG, K Cosmic. Would that be correct?
Yes.
So they can follow you because I follow you because every day you do spreads. But you
Yes.
lay out about five. Now, what kind of spread is that when you lay out when I see you on Instagram?
I
Was it
actually wouldn't
about
know
like
what to
5 to 6
tell
or
you.
7 cards?
I do it based off intuition. I really
Really?
can't tell you much about spreads. I go with the flow and follow the narrative what spirit wants me to produce to the collective.
Okay, good enough. Your email is kcosmic@gmail.com. You
Yes.
also have a cash app, so please donate to the sister so she can continue to do the work. All right, and so she can get in more people's business, which she says she likes to do.
Right, right.
I think that would be very helpful to everybody and anybody. All guests on this show should be supported. Just like you want support, then support the people that come on here because they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart. This is what's interesting, and I try to explain to people, okay, when people like ourselves choose this is not easy. There's no guarantees, there's no pensions, there's no sick pay.
It's all off love. It's off
Yeah,
love.
yeah, yeah. So it's out of the love of, and is, if you notice, it's the love of wanting to help people, help
Yeah.
humanity too. And so that in itself is a richness. But like I remember one time when I first got into this, the lady said, "Oh Lord, you're so good, you should do this free." But when I go buy food for my family, they don't want to hear that at the supermarket. Okay,
Yeah.
when I go, so what I'm saying is, do try to understand in the Cash App. for those, if you really feel that she's doing it and you got a lot of compliments from it, then show that kind of love too, because this is not an easy road that all of us chose, from King Simon to Kay, Kaya to Brandon to Jackie to Kalia to all the people that's going to be on here. Um, this is something that we choose to do, and it's not easy. I remember when I decided to do this, there was a couple of times I asked myself, was I crazy? Lloyd, you left that job, you left all those bonuses and the Christmas parties and the holidays and this, that, and the other. But
Following
you
a
know what?
purpose will change your whole life.
Yeah, yeah. But this, I have no regrets. I have no
Nope.
regrets. I love doing this. And so, but so support in that way, please. Okay. And so you see all the information there: K Cosmic, tarot artist, astrologer, psychic, um, low key painter. One day we're gonna get into that when we have her back on Instagram. She's
Yeah.
K Cosmic. Gmail email is kcosmic@gmail.com, and her cash app is $Queen KBAE. Okay, I ain't gonna ask how you came up with that. I want to leave that alone. Y'all just donate right there. Okay. All right. Now that we got that straight, now let's go back to other people who wanted to join in. Okay. Let me see. All righty. Let me see. Who is this? This is Seabreeze. She says, "Oh no, this is Seabreeze." She says, "I love this good stuff. It is. It is.
Hey,
It is
mom.
fascinating. It is really, really fascinating." And of course, she says Virgo rules, so I assume that they are Virgo.
Well,
Laughing as
sea
it.
green's a Sag. That's my mother.
Really, this your mother?
That's my mom.
Hi, mom. Okay, you always gotta. What's your mother? August or a September Virgo?
The sea green. She's a 12, 15, 73.
Okay, 12/15 or 9/15?
12, 15, 73.
Okay. No, she says, no, I'm a Virgo, she says.
Yeah, I said sea green, not sea breeze.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, Sea Breeze here. You got Sea Breeze here. She gets him, okay. Oh, and Sea Green, yeah. She says, hi,
Yeah.
daughter.
Hey,
That's nice. And thanks, Mom, for supporting her too. All right.
thanks.
Okay, this is Catherine. So glad you're with us. And any thoughts about 3/11/1954?
I'm gonna pull a card for you, Catherine.
Okay. I tell you this, her personal year is matching her date of birth, which means it's going to be a very good year for her to change things around in terms of her diet, her health, and nutrition, change things around in the kind of relationship she's been having so far, and also change things in the home and the workplace. But take her time and just be charming and disarming. She don't have to be forceful at all.
Yeah, and you gotta show the world the real you.
What is that again?
Show the world the real you, and it feels so graceful. Just be yourself.
That makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world. Okay. What about this gentleman here? Tom T.J. Johnson, who is born on the 15th of October.
This.
Let's see.
Ooh. So you got don't let pride get in your way and a time for healing. So it feels like a
Repeat what is
family,
in store for this person?
a time for healing, and don't let pride get in your way. You may be having some disagreements with your family, but tell them you love them. Tell them you're sorry, especially if you were wrong.
That's another thing I find that also has been my experience, that for some reason people have a hard time admitting that they messed up, that they were
Yeah.
wrong. And yet it's not that difficult to me. And nobody's perfect. I mean, You don't look like you walk on water, K Cosmic, okay?
I wish I could, but no, I don't.
I know that's
I
right, but
wish.
the point is to you know, but anyway, I think people should get into it. It's not that you got to say you're wrong all the time, but sometimes when we know we're wrong and we still gonna keep it in and
When
still
we admit and accept things, there's growth there for us. And it's also that forgiveness, but it's more so acceptance.
hmm,
Otherwise we hold on to that and then we don't move on. I mean, we move on with pride or yeah, pride.
and we let pride get in the way too. It can really
Yeah.
mess up future relationships. What about Denisha Hansen, who was born 222? She's going to go into a three personal year that matches her sign. Actually, she's going to do well for the next 2 years, although there might be some rough edges around Denisha. But over and above that, what does that say?
Have faith in your dreams. But this is also telling me like build your dreams, but expand them with your loved ones, your family that's around you. Give everybody a piece on this plot. Like, and it'll be big.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Let me see something here. We have here Blue Lotus, October the 30th. Happy belated birthday. Just 2 days ago,
Happy
1991.
happy birthday, sis.
You know this person too?
Yeah. Sis, you gotta have faith in your dreams. You and your loved ones are safe. Your family got you. They love you.
And I can
Trust
tell
that.
you, and I can tell you this, looking at her cycle, October the 30th, she's about to start on a brand new path with a brand new direction with a
Yes.
whole different mindset. And her three best friends should be me, myself, and I. So it's not so much about what you, her sister, may want, or the kids, or mates, or whatever, but what Blue wants for Blue.
It's about her and getting a new relationship with herself, figuring
Yeah.
out sexy Danny.
And speaking of that, it tells me also, so the people that are likely to come into her mix to help her will be under the signs of Leo, Aquarius, and Aries, or they will be born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of the month. Should she know them? Okay. So anyway, that was fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we can get. Oh, we got this person here, Alexandria Thompson.
Hey, sis.
She is born on August the 9th of fire. You know this person too?
Yeah. All my people here.
Listen, talk about a supportive family, one love, okay? No
Yeah.
question. Well, let me tell you about her. This person don't take no mess from nobody, okay? That's all I can tell you. I don't care what the cards say. I wouldn't mess with the sister. That's what you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see is what you get. If you don't want the truth, you shouldn't be dealing with this particular person. She don't play games, very direct. But my perspective is she tends to attract him because you know her. I don't. But her birthday suggests she tends to attract men in uniform, police, construction, military. Or if she's having a bad hair day, I would tell her to just walk past a construction site so she can feel good about herself. You know. All righty. What do you say for her?
You are good enough and your commitment is being tested. And then behind that you have conclusions are in reach. So you've been working on something very consistently. And that's about to wrap up. But know that you can have whatever it is you're working on.
Now, Doris Smith, she has something interesting. She says she's ready for retirement this year. I don't know whether this year that remains for 2021 or going into the new year 2022, but I can tell you this: when I was doing her cycle in my head right quick, actually, to be honest, she may be retired, but she's about to get busy because about to go through a Jupiter cycle, which is more proactive, more expansive, more energizing. It's fire by nature. Um, So I would say she'll retire from that job, but with excitement, actually head into a new direction. So now let's see what the cards, Kay has to say with the cards.
So yeah, you are retiring, but you're discovering like what joy is again. Like you're gonna get to know you. It's gonna be fun things you're gonna be doing now. So just to piggyback off what Lloyd was saying, like
And
have
you know
fun.
what's it was so interesting, Kay.
Expansion and
Yeah, Jupiter
passions.
roots, expansion, fun, joy. All of those are descriptions
Yep.
of the cycle she's about to enter to. All right. So, Doris, just have fun and take advantage. Now, Renee Wilson has a question that's more for me in terms of
Hmm.
how do I figure what cycle I'm in? It's very simple. You take the month and day you're born, and then you add it to the year you want to know about. Whether it's 2021, this what remains of it, 2022, 2023, or what you were doing back in 2000 or 2005. That's the beauty of the personal year cycle. That all you need to do is have your month and date of birth, those two factors, and then the third element is the year in question that you want to know about, whether it was the past, the present,
Hmm.
or the future. So if she were to say to me, well, what will be my cycle in 2030 that's not here yet? All she got to do is take the month and day she's born and add it to that, and she'll know way in advance. Because people say, well, so and so. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see. Oh, Rich one wants to know about his other half. This August the 1st. I can tell you about his other half. She's going to be one that makes some. She's going to be expecting some commitment one way or the other. It's a straighten up or fly right situation. She's a Leo and a Leo one, a fly sign with a fly number. One, I always tell brothers, K, that if you don't want the truth, you don't deal with a number one or nine lady or gentleman for that matter. They're normally in your face, tell you the way you see it, and that's it. And Andy G says, so much gratitude to the both of you that you read. What is this said for his other half?
You got the Leo. Don't let pride get in your way, and come try to reach resolutions when you get all fiery.
And that's
Gotta just
interesting. The cards show Leo. She's a Leo, and the number one also rules the sign of Leo.
yeah,
So okay, so that means so you're saying that too much pride can just undermine just as much as something else, right?
yeah.
Okay. And Marcia says her response is this is so interesting. It is. It's a very interesting thing. This is why my whole thing to do live with Lloyd is to people to get to see the many branches. Like next Monday, a week from today, I'm going to have Sister Kafunya on that deals with crystals. I'm also going to have another lady, and she calls herself the Crystal Lady. So I'm going to have more than one tarot reader to give their perspective. I want to get this woman who does cardology just with decks of cards. Okay, like if you're a five of diamonds or ace of club or whatever the case is, what that means. So all of these acts as guide for us. People might think it's silly, but not so. What do you have to say for Deborah Des, this born July the 3rd, 1982, for relationship?
Yeah.
Actually, looking at her cycle, she will be passing through a 7 cycle year. So the relationship she shouldn't chase. See, 7 to me, Kay, is magnetic. So in a magnetic energy, you don't chase after what you want, you magnetize it to you. Okay.
And I agree with that because you got vanity and faith. It's like just put your boots on and just be out in the world. Like they see you.
Very good. And it tells me that she is likely to attract other cancers or Pisces or people that are born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or 16th, the 20th to 25th, or the 29th as well. And it's interesting too, Kay, because her birthday suggests when she was younger, she attracted much older men. Now they're going to be younger and from different cultures at the same time too. But we'll say that for another time. So, and Ash Carter Chronicles, she said, "Tell you thank you."
You're welcome.
Okay, okay. This is interesting. Um, this is interesting. This person is April 8th, 1988. What do you have to say about that?
You got luck on your side and nothing will come of this situation. So this telling me that certain opportunities that you just had didn't work out for you, but they weren't meant to. You're supposed to do something else, but something much bigger.
That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. And Janae Jones says thanks. Okay, good.
You're welcome.
Now we have a Domino, born April. Excuse me,
April 2nd.
April 2nd. No, but it's interesting. They got it's April 2. They must be April 27th. I'm assuming, and they want to know about romance. Well, for me, if the birthday is April the 27th, which makes you a Taurus, it tells me relationships are going to be sudden, unexpected, and somewhat out of the blue. You know, wow, we went over an hour already. We're just going to take a couple of more. That's how much I've been enjoying this. I haven't been paying attention. What do you got to say?
Okay, for you, you're gonna be discovering joy again, and you also may have like a couple options you could choose from to see what you like now.
There's nothing like choosing some choices.
But dates.
Dates, yeah. Well, there's nothing like
Dates.
having some options. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take about three more, and then how to get in touch with you. The hour went by so fast. This person is Andrea Bird, 725, a Leo, fire sign with a water number.
Okay,
and that's interesting. It's 7 across the board. This person's born in the 7th month. They're born on the 25th. 2 plus 5 is 7. And they're born in 1978, which adds to 25, which is a 7. So Andrea would be a 777 across the board.
You got your hard work. Well, the end of a tough cycle approaches. So, but it's saying bring love into the situation. Like, I know it was hard, but like find moments of joy in it.
So she's got to bring what into the situation again?
Bring love into the situation.
That's interesting. Okay. And A Domingo said thank you. Her name is April. Okay. Let's take two more. This one is going to be Akia Violet, and she's made a second romance. A lot of people are chiming in about romance, which is what we were talking about before. And Andrea Bird says, wow, thanks to you.
You're welcome.
You know how to shuffle the cards, Dave. You go. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding, my sister, okay?
Even like I'm shuffling for this. I don't think it's the time for romance for you right now. Because it's the way you're seeing things.
You know, I would kind of agree. She's heading into a 4 personal year.
You're dissociating. You don't even, it feels like you don't know what you want. You're not really connected to anything. So you got to figure out yourself. So this is about connecting back into reality and feeling what you want.
Okay, so let us take the last one, which is Ariette Joiners. And they're born on the 1st of March of 81. And this will be the last one. And we'll talk about how to get in touch with you again.
Career. You got wisdom and mysticism in reverse, and then also self-worth here. So I don't feel like you're utilizing all of your talents, or you're not doing what you're supposed to do. or
Hmm.
you're taking less than what you deserve, then you know it. You're supposed to be doing something of service and you're not doing it. Don't let people talk you out of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and people are good at that, you know. I mean, you know how many people have probably had great ideas and let people talk them out of it?
Yeah.
And what happens, the person that came up with the idea had the vision that the person they talked to did not. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two was not on the same plane, you know. And so sometimes that's why I tell people they got to follow their star, regardless of how strange in the moment. And when I used to love to read, which I still do, biographies of great men and women. Almost always they were thought of as being off-centered, everything. But those are the ones that rose to the occasion, became the great inventors, the geniuses, and things like that. And all of us got genius in us too.
Hmm.
But I have to get back to what you said. I think we need to learn how to love ourselves first. And I think once we start with that, then everything is downhill from that in terms of, the changes that we take each other through. But before we get off, Kate, tell us again, although everything is at the bottom of the screen, tell everybody how to get in touch with you for readings, things of that nature, please.
You can follow me over at on Instagram at Kosmic, and message me, talk to me. I will respond. I'll say hello. I'm here.
Okay. And if they want to schedule appointments, how do they do that? Do they get it kcosmic@gmail.com?
You can send me a DM on Instagram, or you can send me an email. I will respond.
Okay, good. Is Instagram the only one? Are you on Facebook or Twitter or anything, or just Instagram?
I am on Facebook, but I mostly use Instagram.
Okay, good. And so for please, because of the work that we do, which is not easy, we choose a life that is sometimes okay, did I make the right decision? All right. And so what I'm saying is please show love and cash app K Cosmic at $Queen KBEA. Is that how would you say that?
Queen K Bay.
Queen K Bay. Okay, Queen K Bay. All right. And that's $QUEENKBAE. Donate, because seriously, everybody who's been on this show doesn't have a job. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
When I
this
say
is my
don't have a
job.
job, they're not doing no 9 to 5s. Okay. They have chosen to do this as a life work to help humanity. And so, if nothing else alone, think of it in that terms. Okay, think of it. And some of the people I had on guests have got family, children, other responsibilities. So persons like Kay can carry on the work. So please support them. And Kay, I want to thank you very, very much. And Wednesday's guest, which will be on the 3rd, will be my buddy Hood Mystic, an astrologer, who
Okay.
happens to be in your neck of the woods, by the way, interestingly enough. So anyway, Kay, thank you so much. Have a
Thank
blessed,
you for
blessed day.
having me.
Okay. Oh, say hi to your mom. Hi to your sisters.
Hey,
Hi to all
family.
your family members. Okay.
Hey, family. Thank you. Thank you,
It was-
everybody, for coming.
yeah. So much for joining K Cosmic and I. This has been Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. And this is an example here too. So Kay, thank you so much. Bless
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. And everybody, family, I want to thank you very much for joining us. You'll all have a blessed day. I'll see you on Wednesday with my next guest. And let me see. Hold on. Let me see something right here. I think if I did this right. Okay. There he is. This will be my guest. Be Hood Mystic, an astrologer, also a family man with several children. And everybody, this is not an easy path that we chose. And what I'm saying is, so when you do, try to take that into consideration too. All righty. Everybody, have a very nice day. As they say, peace out. Okay, let me do this. Everybody, be safe. Take care. Bye.